I'm going to revise quadratics today. I will quickly go through subtopics of quadratics. Sometimes, if you people are given an equation to solve, and the equation is in the form x plus h whole square plus k, means the first term is x with coefficient 1, or there might be a number instead of 1 as a coefficient. As you can see in this first example, 5x. And then there will be a number that can be a positive number, that can be a negative number. I have taken 3 questions from the book. What you have to focus is, there is a perfect square on the left hand side with an expression within the bracket. Perfect square means the whole square. You see there is an expression and that is within the bracket, and on the bracket the power is 2. The raised to the power is 2. It means this is a perfect square on the left hand side. If this is the case, you see the question in the exam in which on the left hand side is a perfect square, which is a quadratic or any expression, algebraic expression, but it is a perfect square, and on the right side there is a number. How will you solve this equation? You will take square root of both sides. You will take square root of both sides. I repeat again, if on the left hand side there is a perfect square with some algebraic expression, on the right side there is only a number. That number can be a perfect square or that cannot be a perfect square. As is in the first example, I have taken 5x minus 4 whole square, or what you can see is on the left hand side there is a perfect square, on the right side there is a number which is also a perfect square. So to get rid of the square sign on the left side, there is no need to expand it. Simply you take square root of both sides, and this square will be cancelled by the square root. The square will be cancelled by the square root, and we will left with 5x minus 4 on the left, and then we will take square root of 81. Since 81 is a perfect square, so mentally we can take square root of 81, which is 9. But it is not 9, it is actually plus minus 9. Means the square root of 81 can be plus 9 as well as minus 9. Why? What is square root? Square root of 81 means to find a number which when multiplied to itself gives us 81. So plus 9 times plus 9, that can be 81, as well as minus 9 times minus 9, that is also 81. So whenever we take square root of any number, the answer can be positive as well as negative. So we have two options: 5x minus 4 is equal to 9, or 5x minus 4 is equal to minus 9. So 5x is equal to 9 plus, I will shift minus 4 from left to right. This minus 4, that will be shifted from left to right. So this is minus 4, means 4 is being subtracted. So when we will shift it to the right, it will become plus. So 9 plus 4. And 5x is equal to 9 plus 4 is 13. X is equal to 13 over 5. And the other option can be 5x is equal to minus 9 plus 4, and 5x is equal to minus 5. So x is equal to minus 5 over 5, x is equal to minus 1. So there can be two answers here. In this case, the possibility can be. In the second case, again, we have an expression on the left side which is a perfect square, which is given in the form of perfect square. So again, to get rid of and on the right side we can see there is a number. We will take square root of both sides. In this case, on the left hand side we have a number which is not a perfect square. So to find the square root of 11, we will take help of calculator, and this is 3.3166, so on. Square will be cancelled by the square root, and we will have x plus 3 on the left side, which is equal to plus minus 3.317. Actually, on the calculator, the display shows 3.31662,479. We will take correct to 3 decimal places, 3.3166, so 3.317. So x plus 3 is equal to 3.317, or x is plus 3 is equal to minus 3.317. X is equal to 3.317 minus 3, which will be equal to 0.317, or x is equal to minus 3.317 minus 3, and this will be end up with minus 6.317, which approximately is equal to minus 6.32, correct to 3 significant figures. So now these both answers are correct to 3 significant figures. Last part is a little bit different, but again, even after being different, we have a perfect square on the left side, while we have a number on the right side. Again, we will take square root of both sides. The square will be cancelled by the square root, and this will give us 1 over 2 minus x is equal to plus minus. Now the square root of 10 is 3.16227. So that will be 3.1616. Then it is 2, so I will take 2, correct to 3 decimal places or 4 significant figures. Why? Because the final answer is better to give correct to 3 significant figures. So throughout the calculations, we will keep the answers correct to 4 significant figures, means one level higher than the required one. So on the left side, we will have 1 over 2 minus x is equal to 3.162, or 1 over 2 minus x is equal to minus 3.162. So minus x is equal to 3.162 minus 1 over 2. If I want to write half as the decimal point, it will be 0.5. Minus x is equal to minus 3.162 minus 0.5. So minus x is equal to 3.16 minus 0.5, that will be 2.662. 2.662, and in this case, if minus x is equal to minus 3.662, so this minus will be cancelled with this one, so x is equal to 3.66. So this is the answer of x, correct to 3 significant figures, and same way this negative sign will shift it to the right. X will be minus 2.66. Approximately this will be the answer. So these will be the answers. The other thing we learned was expressing in the form x plus h whole square plus k. We have to complete the expression in such a way we must have a perfect square plus a number. Here h as well as k, they are representing numbers. We can have 3 types of questions, either this type of question or that one. In the leftmost expression, what you can see is the first term is x square with the coefficient 1, and we have two terms. Or we can have x square as the first term and three terms. So I will start with this one. This is x square minus 2 over 9x, means we have two terms in the expression, and the first term is x square only, means with the coefficient of 1. So x square we will write as it is, minus 2 over 9x, that will also be written as it is. Now we will take half of the coefficient of x. Half of the coefficient, here in this case the coefficient of x is 2 over 9. It is basically minus 2 over 9. So if you will ignore, in this case only, if you will ignore this sign, negative sign, this will make no difference. Why? Because actually we have to add and subtract the square of the half of the coefficient of x. So when you will take square of half of the coefficient of x, whether it is negative or it is positive, by taking its square it will become positive. So in this case we have 2 over 9 as the coefficient of, or minus 2 over 9 as means the coefficient of x. So we will take half of it, you have to take the fractions half, you simply multiply it by 2. So half of 2 over 9 will be minus 1 over 9. So I will add this minus 1 over 9 whole square, means I will add and subtract the square of the half of the coefficient of x. I repeat again, to make this expression x square minus 2 over 9x, to make this expression a perfect square, I will add and subtract the square of half of the coefficient of x, which in this case is minus 1 over 9. So I have added, so I have to subtract that one. The first three terms, these three terms, they have become a perfect square. First three terms, they have become a perfect square. Why? Because this is in the form a square minus 2ab plus b square. So the first term is the square of x. So we will write x. We will take sign from the second term, and then the third term is the square of 1 over 9. So 1 over 9 whole square. We will take only 1 over 9. Why? Because negative sign is already has been taken. So x minus 1 over 9 whole square. Then this is actually the shorter form of writing this perfect square. This means the first three terms, they are equivalent, they are same. This is an identity. A minus b whole square is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Above three terms, they represent the form a square minus 2ab plus b square. I have converted this in the simpler form, which is a minus b whole square. And then there is minus 1 over 9 square is 1 over 81. We have expressed the expression in the form x plus h whole square plus k. What you can see here, x minus 1 over 9 whole square minus 1 over 81. This is when we have only two terms, and the first term given is only x square, means x square with coefficient 1. If there are three terms, as you can see in the second part, we have an expression which has three terms. The first term is x square. We will focus on the first two terms, and we will use the same method which we did in the first part. Means this is x square plus 3x minus 2 will remain as it is. The first two terms, to convert these two terms into a perfect square, we will add and subtract the square of the half of the coefficient of x. Here in this case, the coefficient of x is 3, the half of the coefficient of x is 3 over 2. So we will add the square of 3 over 2 and definitely we will subtract 2. T double 2 means we will add and subtract the square of half of the coefficient of x. That will make the first 3 terms a perfect square. We will convert this as the perfect square form, which is x plus 3 over 2 whole square, and then minus 3 over 2 square is 9 over 4 minus 2. We have two numbers outside the bracket. We can simplify them and we will simplify them. As both have the same signs, they will be added. X plus 3 over 2 whole square. If I take the LCM 4, then minus 9 minus 8. So x plus 3 over 2 whole square minus 9 plus 8 is 17. If both the numbers have the same signs, we add them. If they have different signs, we take the difference, and with the answer we write the sign of the larger number. So minus 8 minus 9 having the same signs, they will be added. 9 plus 8 becomes 17, and the sign of the larger number is negative, so negative will be written as a whole and over 4. So this is when we have 3 terms and we have to express this in the format x plus h whole square plus k. Mostly you will be facing these 2 cases. The second one, you will be given 3 terms with x square as the first term, and you will be asked to express the expression in this format. Now, in some cases, there can be some coefficient with x square. The first thing, in most of the cases in quadratics, the first thing you do is, but let me say in all the cases, first we rearrange the equation, or if needed, we simplify first and then rearrange in the standard form, which is ax square plus bx plus c. So let's do. So this will become minus 5x square plus 3x. I have shifted minus 3x from right to left, so this is minus 3x. That will become plus 3x, and then plus 9, that will remain on the same side because that was on the left side. Now again it is on the left side, so its sign will remain same. It's better whenever you have an equation n equal to 0, it's better to have the coefficient of x square positive. So we can multiply the whole equation by minus 1, we will get 5x square minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. That will make your task easier. 5x square minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. I am sorry, the question I have written is not an expression. I have written by mistake, I have written an equation. No problem. Say this, now we have to convert, say, let's suppose, if we have to convert this expression 5x square minus 3x minus 9 in the form x plus h whole square plus k, actually in this case it will be, as an answer, this will be in this form, a x plus h whole square plus k. So again, if you have the coefficient of x square other than 1, first take the coefficient of x square common from the first 2 terms. So I will take 5 common, and I will left with x square minus 3 over 5x in the bracket, and then minus 9 as it is. I will focus on these two terms to make them a perfect square. This is just like the one we did here in the first or in the second part. So actually this is what can help us to make it a perfect square. So 5 will remain as it is, x square minus 3 over 5x, that will remain as it is. Here the coefficient of x is 3 over 5. So half of 3 over 5 is 3 over 10. So plus 3 over 10 whole square and then minus 3 over 10 whole square. And then the bracket, this bracket is closed and minus 9 will remain as it is. In the next step, the first 3 terms within the bracket, they have become a perfect square. Means these 3 terms, they are expanded form of the perfect square. This 5 will remain as it is. These 3 terms can be written as a perfect square, which is x minus 3 over 10 whole square, and then these are basically the simpler format of the first 3 terms. So now we are left with minus 9 over 100. I have taken the square of 3 over 10. The square of 3 is 9 and the square of 10 is 100. Then the first bracket that will be closed, and we minus 9, which was here as it is, that will be written as it is. Now I will open the red bracket, red one. No need to open the inner bracket because that is what we were asked to have in the answer. So I will open the bracket. I will left with 5, then x minus 3 over 10 whole square. This 5 will multiply to both. This will be taken as a single term, and so plus into minus is minus, and 9 over 100 times 5 will become 9 over 20, and then there is minus 9. We have almost got the required expression form, but with one difference, we have 2 numbers here. Again, both have the same signs. So 9 over 20 and 9, that they will be added. Same way I did the previous one by taking their LCM, or simply we can say that will be 189. So this finally will become 5x minus 3 over 10 whole square and minus 189 over 20. This is because both have the same signs, they will be added. So you can add them by taking LCM or whatever method you want to use. This was the second thing I wanted to cover, that was expressing in the form this one. Then is solving quadratic equations, which is the main topic, which is the purpose of this topic, because most of the time we are solving quadratic equations. Sometimes they are as a result of some word problem that we have to solve them. There are 3 major methods to solve quadratic equations. One is factorization method, in which we first factorize the algebraic expression. The second is using quadratic formula, and third is by using completing the square method. I will discuss one by one each method. In this equation, we have an equation with 2 terms. So if we have 2 terms, and if I am going to use factorization method, I need to solve this equation by factorization. So in that case, I have to factorize the algebraic expression. And the first thing, very important thing is, first you will arrange the equation in standard form, or sometimes we call that general form, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. In this case, we have already organized equation. If there are 2 terms, then there can be either taking common, or the identity of a square minus b square can be applied. For a square minus b square, the negative sign must be there, which is here, but the two terms, they must be perfect squares. In this case, they are not. 3x square is not a perfect, x square only partially it is perfect square, but as a whole 3 is not a perfect square. And same is the case for x. So x is not a perfect square. In this case, x can be taken as common, and then we will have 3x minus 1, that is equal to 0. So I have factorized the left hand side of the equation, means algebraic expression, by using taking common method. Now we have two expressions being multiplied, and this is basically the definition of factorization. Factorization means expressing a single expression as a product of two or more. Same applies to the numbers. If you have a number, you want to factorize it, so you will express that number as a product of two or more. So now we have got factorized form, means x is being multiplied to 3x minus 1, means two expressions are being multiplied. If two expressions multiply and the answer is 0, what does it mean? It means any one of them, at least any one of them is 0, x is equal to 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. They both can be 0, but at least one of them will be 0, otherwise the product cannot be result as 0. So one answer is x is equal to 0, another is 3x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 over 3. This was the first method of factorization, taking common. I use factorization method for the second equation, and in the second equation again it is already organized. It is written in the standard form, or the general form is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So x squared plus x minus 12 is equal to 0. In this case we have three terms. If there are three terms and we have to factorize the expression, we will prefer middle term break or mid-term breaking. And in this case we will apply that one. X squared plus x minus 12 is equal to 0. So if here the coefficient of x squared is 1 multiplied to minus 12 means a multiplied by c, the coefficient of x squared multiplied to the first and the third term, when they are multiplied we get minus 12. So we need, this is negative, it means we need two numbers which when we find its difference, the difference should be 1 plus 1 and their product should be minus 12. If I multiply the extreme numbers, I have minus 12 and the middle number is 1, the coefficient of x. So I need two numbers which when multiplied give me minus 12, and when simplified, in this case the difference will be the result, there should be plus 1 answer. So 4 times 3, actually 4 minus 3. So 4 times 3 minus 3 will be minus 12 and 4 minus 3 is 1. So that will become x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12 is equal to 0. So what we have done is we have splitted the middle term, because 4x minus 3x is the same. We haven't changed. This is equivalent to x. Actually the expression is value wise same but in different shape. So once we have broken the middle term, the midterm, so we are left with now 4 terms. So if we have 4 terms, the factorization can be done by using grouping. So we will make 2 groups, the first group and the second group, and we will take common from each group. So in this case, from the first group we can take x the common, x plus 4. From the second group we can take minus 3 common, x plus 4 is equal to 0. If we break the middle term carefully by considering the rule mentioned above, explained above, we will have the expressions within the brackets same. Actually, this practice is done because of this reason. We want the same expression within the brackets, which is here you can see x plus 4, x plus 4. If you don't get this equal, means you have done some mistake by midterm breaking. So in this case, again, we have got x plus 4. Now we have two terms. The first term, this whole expression is now one term because they are multiplying. And there is a bracket and one. And this is the second term. Now we have two terms on the left hand side. In these two terms, x plus 4 is common. So if I will take x plus 4 out, I will left with x here, and then x plus 4 out. So we will left with minus 3 here is equal to 0. Now again, we have got the left hand side factorized. There are two expressions being multiplied and the answer is 0. So x plus 4 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Finally, x is equal to minus 4 or x is equal to 3. This is solving quadratic equations by using factorization method. The other method to solve the quadratic equation is quadratic formula. That is, x is equal to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac, then square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. This is the quadratic formula. You have to learn it. What are these a, b, c, which numbers they represent? You people know it. The first thing, the most important thing here is you need to arrange your equation in the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. As in the definition we use a, b, c. What is a? A is coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is without x. So first thing we need is to rearrange, that is must, rearrange the equation in general form. That will become minus 5x square plus 3x plus 9 is equal to 0. So in this case, again, I think we use this equation in another question too. So it would be better if I make the coefficient of x square positive. Actually, it doesn't matter whether you change it in this case or not. You can directly take the values of a, b and c. Again, what is a? A is the coefficient of x square. So the coefficient of x square, this is a. Here in this case, a is minus 5, and b is 3, c is 9, because they are the values of a, b and c. What is a? A is the coefficient of x square. What is b? B is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term without x. So simply we have to put these values in this quadratic formula. So x will be equal to minus b minus 3 plus minus b square is 3 square minus 4, a is minus 5 and c is 9 over 2a. 2a means 2 times minus 5. Minus 3 plus minus, in the square root there will be 9. Minus into minus plus, 5 4s are 20, this will become 180 over minus 10. So we will left with minus 3 plus minus 189 over minus 10. The square root of 189 is 13.75. It is actually 13.7447727008, but we will take correct to 2 decimal places or 4 significant figures. 13.747. It is 747. So 13 point minus 3 plus 13.748 13.75 ले लेते हैं. We take this over minus 10 or minus 3 minus 13.75 over minus 10. So 13.75 minus 3 will give 10.74, 10.75, and when divided by 10 minus 10, actually it will give me minus, because 13.75 minus 3 is 10.75 minus 1.075 1.075 minus 1.075. In other words, we can say minus 1.08. And same way, this will become minus 16.75 over minus 10, which will be minus will be cancelled, 1.675. So approximately it will be 1.68. So these will be the answers. Quickly, if I convert this equation with positive coefficient of x square. Here that is not required, but see, if I take 5x square minus 3x minus 9 is equal to 0. In this case, a will be 5, b will be minus 3, and c will be minus 9. So if I apply a quadratic formula here, x is equal to minus b minus minus 3 plus minus b square means minus 3 square minus 4a and then c, 4ac over 2 times 5. So this is 3 plus minus 9, minus into minus plus, 5 4s are 20 times 9, 180. This is square root over 10. So 3 plus minus 189 square root over 10. Square root of 189 was 13.75. So that will be 3 plus 13.75 over 10, or 3 minus 13.75 over 10, that is 16.75 over 10, or minus 10.75 over 10. So this will become 1.675 or minus 1.075, 1.68 or minus 1.68. No, 1.08. So if you see, we are getting the same answers, 1.68 minus 1.08. No difference whether you take, in this case, in the case of quadrant, even it doesn't make in any case, but in case of factorization or completing the square method, that makes the task easier. Find the values of x that satisfy the equation. We have x into x minus 3 over x plus 1 whole square is equal to 3 over 5. So we have a fraction in which on the both sides we have single fraction. In such cases, we cross multiply to make the equation simple. But I think it would be a better option if we expand and simplify the expression in the numerator as well as in the denominator on the left side. So if I will open the bracket, I will left x square minus 3x over, and if I will open this bracket, x square plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 3 over 5. I will cross multiply to convert them into general form. 5 multiplied 2x square minus 3x will become 5x square minus 15x. And then there will be equal to, and then I will multiply the denominator x square plus 2x plus 1 by 3. It will become 3x square plus 6x plus 3. I will shift the left hand side expression to the right. 5x square minus 3x square minus 15x minus 6x minus 3 is equal to 0. 5x square minus 3x square, that is 2x square. So we are simplifying the like terms. Minus 15x minus 6x, that is minus 21x, and then minus 3 is already simplified form. So we have got an equation in general form or standard form. That is must, because you have to make sure before solving a quadratic equation, especially in factorization method and quadratic formula method, you will make sure the expression is simplified and it is on the left side, and on the right side there is 0. Now whatever method you want to use, recommended is, if at a glance, just looking at the question, if you can find this can be easily factorized, go for the factorized form. Otherwise I will recommend use quadratic formula. I think quadratic formula will be the appropriate one. Now one thing was missing. I didn't tell you how to solve a quadratic equation by using completing the square method. Why don't we use that method here? If I want to solve this equation by using completing the square method, first thing I will make sure the first term is x square. So I will divide the whole equation by 2. Means I will divide this by 2, I will divide this by 2, 2, 2. We can do this, we have discussed this before. I will make sure the first term is x square. So I have x square now. I'm left with n minus 21 over 2x, and take the constant part to the right. So that is equal to, this is minus 3 over 2, that will become 3 over 2 when we will shift it from left to right. Now I will make the left hand side a perfect square. To make a perfect square, again I have two terms. The first term is x square, which I made sure it is x square, and then I will add, in this case, since this is an equation, this is not an expression, we have two sides, so I can add the square of the half of the coefficient of x to both sides, which in this case is 21 over 2. 21 over 2, the positive coefficient of x is 21 over 2. I will take its half. Its half means I will multiply it by 1 over 2, or I will multiply the denominator by 2, making it half. So it will become 21 over 4. So this is 21 over 4 square. I will add to both sides to keep the equation balanced. This has given me the left hand side as a perfect square. The expression on the left now, these three terms, they are representing a perfect square in expanded form, which is a square minus 2ab plus b square, which can be written as a perfect square, and that is x minus 21 over 4 whole square, and then I will have 3 over 2 plus the square of 21 is 441 over 16. Now I will simplify the right hand side. The LCM is 16, 2 8s are 16, 24 plus 4, 41, 465, 465 over 16. So x minus 21 over 4 whole square is equal to this one. We have got an expression solving equation in the form of perfect square on the left side and number on the right side. The purpose of completing the square method is we get an expression on the left side which is the perfect square. So what we do is then we take square root of both sides. Now this question, this is the paper 2 version. You will have the calculators. You can convert these fractions into decimal points and then you can solve them. I just leave it to you people because the major everything I explained before, the major task was to convert this fractional form into general form, which we did, and then making it a perfect square.